So I'm back to using the birch, but I did salvage a branch though. And remember I told you that you need to use leaf trees for activated coal or active coal. It's way better. I mean, you can do it with pine tree as well, but it leaves an acidic residue, and just like when you fertilize soil with it, it's better for a certain kind of plant, and you don't want the acidic part in your, in your body, right? I mean, it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. That's simply it. Okay. Well, so we'll be doing some, or we'll be making some activated coal from this. And activated coal is a multi-purpose product. We're gonna go over what it's for and different kinds of possible areas of use. Okay. I'm gonna use my wook here as a simple example of how to make it. You know, what you do is you take the leaf tree like this, like so. You heat it up without oxygen, right? And it doesn't have to be super complicated, but the gas coming out of this is flammable, which is why you need to have a lid, or like they did back in the day, far back, first off they made fires with a pile of steaming red hot coal, right? They poured material like this on top of it and covered it with burlap sack and sand. That way they starved the tree from getting oxygen, or the fire from getting oxygen, and the tree was turned into what is known as tree coal. So that's how you make that, but it is activated coal nonetheless, right? And activated coal is a really good ingredient for you if you live in nature, but it is also something you can use anyway, right? Because it is a coal you can use to stabilize your stomach if you're having stomach issues like sour stomach or runny stomach, right? They sell coal tablets for you, but this is for free, so you know what I choose, right? And not only that, you can also use it to how should I say this? When you make moonshine, right? When you make moonshine, you can purify the moonshine by pouring it on active coal. Active coal picks up the contaminants. It even picks up heavy metals and different kinds of pollutants, right? Which is why you can use it as a water filter, of course, right? But still, it picks up pollutants, and what comes out is pure alcohol. That's how we make vodka in Sweden. Okay. Well, back to it. Now, doing this is also how you make wood tar, right? And wood tar is a product you use to seal off different kinds of wood. I mean, for an example, boats, wooden boats. You use it for wooden boats, or they used to do it at least. And well, it is what it sounds like. It's tar. You use it for different applications where you need tar. Okay. And it runs off in the bottom of it, so if you have a canister with an outlet, you can easily tap the tar when you make larger amounts of this, because the way it is right now, there's not going to be any tar to speak of. But when you make larger amounts of coal like this, you get a residue tar as a bonus as well. And the gas is flammable, so I'm guessing you can do something with that as well. But it even pops when you put it in like one of those glass cylinders, right? In chemistry, kind of boop. pops like well, once you light it, of course, once you light it, but still, it pops. And yeah, you get multiple products from doing this. So I would highly recommend that you look into it at least. Okay. Now we can clearly see how it's slowly turning into coal, right? And the parts where it's glowing, you can pick those out and, you know, store them as you go, I guess, because, well, if they glow all together, they're gonna be burnt, so, you know. But this is, again, normally done without oxygen, and I'm only using a lid, right? So if it's oxygen tight, this is not an issue. And as you can tell, it's pretty easy, right? I mean, it takes a little bit of time, but when you live like this, you have a lot of time on your hands, right? And when you use a better lid than I have, it's gonna be airtight, because the smoke here is gonna push away the oxygen, right? So I mean, I just have a mediocre lid, that's it. But normally you can do this as well here, as just as I'm doing it right now. So, but yeah, better lid. Well, getting closer. But well, once you have your coal, right, that is what you're gonna use to make your water filter. Okay, and the water filter, like I said, is made from birch bark, right? Make the pipe like so, and you stack it in layers, layer upon layer upon layer upon layer inside of this, right? With coal and with sand. And yeah, I mean, I showed you where you can find sand before, but well, if you weren't paying attention, maybe you can go back, or no, I'll cut some in. I'll cut some in here, but layers of sand and coal. That's it. You know, let the water run through it from the top to the bottom. That way, you filter out and any microbes or any, well, let's say humus, like soil, like vegetation parts in the water or whatever, right? But the coal is also going to take care of the pollutants, if there are any heavy metals, or if you're in an area where you're a little bit unsure of the water quality, right? Because that might happen, you know. Never ever gamble. Always filter your water and boil your water, and you're safe. After that, you have well, abundant amount of water if you're anywhere like this, for an example. So filter it and boil it. Oh, I guess you understand where I'm going, right? I mean, like, the coal looks like this eventually, and this is the active coal, okay? And it's really easy to make. You can also, like I said, you can cover it with sand or whatever, and that way starve it of oxygen. If you're out in nature, you don't have anything like this, like a lid or a pan or a pot or whatever. You just start a fire, you make a ton of steaming hot coal, you pour wood on it, and you just shovel sand over it, right? You're gonna use sand for the filter anyway, so it doesn't really matter if there's sand in it. But let's see. And this coal here is, well, I mean, you can eat it straight up. It's not toxic. It is It's gonna stabilize your stomach if it's a little bit wonky. If you have eaten something that's not agreeing with your stomach, that is, you know. And it happens. It happens to all of us, you know, especially when you live in nature. You're not 100% sure what's gonna happen. Because, quite frankly, you never tried it before, right? That's how it works. But, anyway, active coal, ladies and gentlemen. So if you like the content, share, like, subscribe, you know, maybe not in that order, but you know the thing, you know the drill, right? I mean, you've been around for a while, so yeah, and see you later.